Nick, thank you so much for joining us today.
Good to see you.
Now, won't you introduce us to your books on Oscar Pistorius and Reeva Steenkamp? You've authored more than one. In fact, you've authored quite a few. Tell us about those.
There's 9 books. Our 10th is on the way, April. We're planning to release that as the appeal concludes, or as possible to that, which should be around about the first week of December. But yeah, there are 9 books out at the moment on Amazon.
Tell us a little bit about the content of these books. Of course, we know that the Oscar Pistorius trial has grabbed international attention. What can we find in your books specifically?
I didn't actually set out to books, but what really happened was I didn't really feel Reeva's voice was being heard. In fact, I think every watching the trial for the first time, you really got a sense of who Reeva was from her WhatsApps. That's where you heard her voice for the first time. But I mean, at that stage, I'd already written Reeva in her own words, and that was really based on her social media. Me and her were friends on Facebook. And I was curious about who she was, and I was very impressed with who she was, and to the extent that I wrote Reeva in her own words, and that's so for the most reviewed book of the whole series. So in a sense, that's quite unique. No one else has done that. Not even to some extent June Steenkamp. I mean, this is Reeva speaking for us. There's no really on Reeva. And they, I with some of these and she felt that there's more than just the bathroom door. There was a bed door that is damaged, and she drew my attention to the fact that that there was a second pair of jeans outside the house. Were you aware of that?
No.
A second pair of jeans, yeah. And I wasn't either, and I wasn't sure what to make of it. And I thought it was going to be a wild goose chase. And anyway, and with Lisa, who's based in California, I really found a sort of a fellow investigator, and we sort of did a lot of detective work. And together we pieced together a lot that's not been actually in the media, and it's not been in any of the books that have been written. So I think in that sense it is a unique narrative and from a unique perspective.
Nick, I want you to take us through that unique narrative. As you've mentioned, it's not something that many people are talking about. Give us your opinion, your belief on that timeline of events.
Okay, before Barry Rue even made his timeline available, we'd already published ours. So we actually felt it was a mistake or an oversight of Clarionel not to have done that himself. The other thing that Clarionel did that I think is maybe a little bit, may have been an error, was that he looked in a very microscopic way at the evidence. He was looking at genes on the duvet and where the fans were positioned. And that had a place in the case, but I think what would have helped him would have been to have looked at everything more holistically. The whole context of what Oscar was doing that day, Reeva as well, the meetings that they were having. So our timeline starts from quite a broad context, and then we narrow it down to the actual events. And that's really the last chapter of Revelations, where we really nail down the timeline. Basically, from about 5 to 2 in the morning, things to happen. Oscar has a 5-minute interaction on his phone, and of course his phone is after his personal answers after the police investigation. It was only given back, I think, on the 20th. Anyway, timeline. We basically just took all it's difficult to say this in a couple of minutes, but we took all the information from the various witnesses and Oscar's testimony and the cell phone records, and we sort of overlaid them. And then we basically connected all the dots. And so we feel Barry Rue's timeline's not accurate. We feel ours makes more sense. We were not trying to find anyone guilty or innocent. We were simply trying to match things up that made the most sense, and with as much of the testimonies that came through, and the people who've read Revelations seem to agree that it is a very compelling timeline.
I'm certain that our viewers now want more information on how they can find out more information on this. How can they read your books, and where can they access that timeline?
Well, there are two books that basically deal with what we believe was Oscar's motive, and in the appeal, it was really about eventualis. We feel it was directus, but you can read about the motive in a book called Resurrection. It's on Amazon. It's a Kindle book, so you must download the free app. And then Revelations deals with the method that goes into the what really. So all of that's available on Amazon.com.
Nick, do you have a Twitter handle or a website where our viewers can ask you questions and interact with you?
Yeah, sure. Lisa and I are very interactive. I'm on @HighResLife, HiRezLife, and Lisa's at LisaWJ13. I've also got nickvanderleek.com, and Lisa's got hers. You'll find it on her Twitter handle. And then we've also got a series of videos on YouTube which are under the title Interrogating Oscar. So people can have a look at that.
Nick, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us. And as we get nearer to some type of resolution from the Supreme Court of Appeal, we really hope that we can touch base with you again.
Great. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.